Hey, happy Friday, TGIF. I can't say it enough. And I have that problem tonight. John, not sick, just froggy, got a cough once in a while. Crap. Anyway, I was sitting there jazzing and bebopping with the music and listening to it and unwinding, kind of like I'm thinking I can do this, I think I can do this, and all of a sudden the music just went and ended, and I thought, well, I guess that's my cue. Time to get going. This week went haywire. This week went sideways, and it started on Monday when I got my shot, booster shot for COVID. It was fine. I had no problem at all. But then from that day on, we left the house every day for an errand, or 2, or 3, or 4. And in other words, we have not been at home the entire day yet this week. And we will not be tomorrow and Sunday. We'll get home late Sunday night. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But we went for one overnight last night and packed a teeny tiny suitcase, you know, just your pajamas and bathroom bag and stuff like that, and got home this morning and turned right around, and this afternoon packed a bigger bag because we're going for 2 days. We are driving up to see my brother, and this is a essential trip in some ways to get him things that were at Mom's and he needs to have. I am the quote-unquote footloose and fancy-free sibling because I'm retired. He still works. He's younger than I am. And therefore the job of getting this stuff to him falls to me. And this is not something that I can mail. This is like, some of it's paperwork, some of it's things, some of it's pretty valuable jewelry that we're splitting up. In other words, it deserves a trip. So we have packed our second suitcase of the week and are heading out tomorrow morning. So we'll see what my stamina is like for this tonight. I may cut it short. And important, I won't be here Sunday. I will be back someday next week, along with Wednesday. Maybe I'll add some more. I am hoping next week is better. I know Thursday's Thanksgiving. We have no plans. Ironically, we're not close enough to family to actually be doing Thanksgivings like that with them. My daughter is close, but they're vegetarian. They have their own way to celebrate Thanksgiving, and that's fine. Once in a while we get together, but it's not common for us to celebrate Thanksgiving together. We save that for Christmas time. So anyway, I know Thanksgiving is going to be on Thursday. I know that we need to focus on getting some of the Christmas decorations out and up this week, because of leaving for 2 weeks in December, and it's just, I want to stay home, and I hope that's what I get next week, and it may or may not give me time to stream and to do fiber work. It's really hard this time of year, except for the fact that it's excellent for my sanity. It is so good to pause and just focus on the spinning and have the chance to say hello to a few friends when they stop by. So I do like to continue streaming. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing tonight. I just walked away from it on Wednesday morning and haven't been back. So I have a sample of the white with sparkle to ply, and I may I don't know, because I don't know that I really want to spin that, but I don't have much else to spin right now. I might find something in my bag of odds and ends that I have here by my chair, so we'll take a look in that. Maybe I'll spin something from there. So right now I am going to apply. That is what's going to happen first. Working on the Roberta. And I applied this Wednesday morning. This is a lamb's lock. I have more to do, but and I could do the locks that are already combed. Then I have a whole little puff of fiber that I would like to put through hand combs, and I don't have the hand combs with me, so not sure I'm going to start that tonight. That's one of the reasons I said it may be short. Not only the fact I am exhausted. I want to go to bed. It's super cold. Oh, and the phone is ringing. It's 7 o'clock at night. I guess that's another one of those. We can sell you Medicare supplements. I'm listening. Oh, he said, can I take a message? I may have to go. Hang on a minute. Typical. I guess he hung up. All right. Maybe it wasn't anything. Whoa! Oh, that was a snarl mess. Goodness, not what I wanted to do. Yeah, there we go. How did that happen? At least I'm going the right direction. There we go. Oh, this is going to apply nice. Oh, that is so soft. It looked like there was a lot of Firestar in it. You know, when you look at the fiber, I don't see much sparkle though when I go ahead and spin it. But it doesn't matter. This is going to be a gorgeous yarn. I thought about going ahead and knitting up a swatch right away. But to be realistic, I really should wash it. Excuse me. That's a good one. Alright, I could have just a little more twist. I won't go quite as fast into the bobbin. One of the problems with everything that we've been doing this week is I have had no time to knit, no time to spin. I have put away all the fiber for processing because of Christmas and getting ready for, you know, just picking up clutter and cleaning up the pile of things. And I have a lot of boxes with fiber to be processed, so. And, shoot, I don't feel like I'm talking very loud. I will go up a notch here. I got the music down pretty good, but I have noticed that I get pretty soft-spoken when I'm spinning. It must be that chill factor. So we heard today, oops, that live Christmas trees are going to be in short supply. No surprise, but it may be a regional thing. I don't know. I have been pushing hubby for years to plant. We could do this so easily, and I don't mean for sale. I just mean for us, you know, for a period of time to have a series of trees to cut. After they get too big, that's fine. Wooded area on our land exists, and more could happen. Oh man, I'm going to have to do it myself, and what it really involves is not losing those seedlings. It's easy to get the seedlings from the forestry place, and what's really, really hard is they're tiny, and you have to keep the grass away and not mow them down, and that is, you know, it's a thing. As far as husbandry and getting them big enough then that it's no issue. Now we have two. Why are you doing that? It's not wanting to go. Okay, did I kick my power off? Where is it? Huh. I did. My power box went off. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, I think it's back on. Yeah. Huh. I have no idea what caused that. You know, I have a little multiple outlet thing that, because I end up plugging a number of things. Not the computer, it's all on a separate thing, but I could have a couple things plugged into it. One of them being a heater. Although I have avoided, hi all crafty. I'm just yakking away here, not looking. I have avoided turning the heater on during the stream. Not wanting to make it too loud. It has quite a fan to it. It's down by my feet, but still. So I don't have it on. Happy Friday, all crafty. Did you make it through the week okay? Yes, I am so glad it's Friday. In fact, I still have 2 big days to go. We are traveling again tomorrow and Sunday. And be back late Sunday night. So it's going to be a very tiring weekend. I won't be streaming Sunday because I won't be here. And I'm just like, I got to get through this week. And then maybe I'll have a quieter week next week. I can pray for snow to come so we can be snowed in, but I don't want it yet. I gotta get up to Ohio and back Saturday and Sunday. This is really nice to ply. Oh, this is so soft. This is going to be one of my favorite yarns, I think. I have a lot of it to spin. This is just the sample. This is what was left over from 8 ounces. I'm at my weighing of 8 ounces. So that's why I went ahead and did this up as a sample. I think it's 1.5 ounces. They were generous when they measured it out. Hubby is a die-hard grill the steaks outside kind of person, and he hadn't for a while, and he was like, I want to grill steaks. So he thawed a pack of steaks, and you know how you grill in the wintertime. You light your fire, you go out there and put it on, and you come in and you go out and you check and turn it over and come in, and there's no sitting on the porch waiting. You can't sit on the porch and wait. And at one point he was nuking an empty plate with a little bit of water in it, and he says, I'm warming the plate up for the steaks. I do not know what is going on with my power. It keeps going off and on. That is going to be frustrating. It has to be this box and what it's plugged into. And I can't crawl under the desk. If I move it around a little bit, it comes back on. Maybe that power box is failing. If it's not something, it's something else. I'll tell you. It's always something. And I won't have time to fuss with that until Monday. You can see the little power box down there by my feet. If I watch, I can see the light. That light goes off, my Roberta stops. I'm going to have a really nice amount of yardage. 1.5 ounces. What can I make? This is not a practical washcloth kind of thing. This is probably not enough for hat or even fingerless mitts, even if they're really short. I would get really, really short Victorian ones, maybe. White's not a real practical color for... Make gorgeous sachet bags. I think that's what I'll try. It's a sachet bag. If I get a couple, I could make one for some. I could make some for Christmas stockings. I could always dye the fiber, so I don't have to feel limited by the white, but I am so fascinated by this fiber being so white. It's, you know, it is not sheep white. It has to be Angora, I think. I don't really want to dye it. Well, Snyder, hello. Long time no see. How are you? Happy Friday. You're probably just as glad as we all are. I am spinning the most amazingly soft fiber that had the fiber content unlisted. Had it for so long, I have no memory of ever really knowing. I believe, actually, it's Angora with Firestar in it, because it is so white. But it's possible it's mixed with some wool too. Anyway, this is a sample. I am going to work up a swatch sample after I wash this skein, because the big part is still waiting to be spun. I am glad to hear it. I am glad to hear you're doing good. should have gotten my bag of... I was very unprepared for this stream. I should have gotten my bag of the acrylic fiber I was spinning. I just knew I didn't want to spin it. That's why I didn't do it. I'll find something else after I get this done. Can work on. There's always fiber to be spun, that's for sure. I see sparkle in there. That's good. It's subtle, but it's there. I keep saying this reminds me of snow. Looks like snow fiber is what I've been calling it because it has... Well, it had a name from the vendor. What was that? Oh, I can't reach it. Can I reach it? I don't want to fall off the chair here. Okay, winter white is what they called it. That's sort of like snow. Corey is nice. Cordell is very, very nice. I have been working through a big Rambouillet fleece, and I'm at the stage of it's been dyed with black walnuts, and now I'm picking it apart so that I can use my big combs and comb it. It's a big project, multi-stepped, multi-step project. There's a lot to be said for buying your fiber all the time already ready to spin. I mean, if you are a production spinner, especially, if you try to be a production spinner and add all that processing on top of it, it's just not worth your time, really. But I don't consider myself a production spinner. Well, there's going to be enough left on this one bobbin. I am not going to... I'll just leave the bobbin to start with on the when I continue spinning it. I don't want to wrap that off and try and ply it on here. Let me see. Yeah, it's too much. Winding up with yarn is a plus, huh? I don't know. I spin yarn because I spin fiber because I am so fascinated with how the different fibers, the yarn that you get is so different with the different fibers. That's what I'm very fascinated by that final outcome. The whole process is enjoyable, but sometimes I get impatient, right? I have the tendency to spin up a skein and not finish the rest of the fiber and that kind of stuff. for that reason, because I've satisfied that curiosity and now I'm left with all this fiber. That's why I say I'm not a production spinner, because I don't often finish all the fiber up. That is awesome and looks terrible in that camera. But there is sparkle in there. And let's see here. I'm going to measure a reps per inch, even though it's unwashed and not really accurate. Fourteen reps per inch. Let me write that down. I'll need to sort of keep track of that. Alrighty. So now I have 2 bobbins I need to wind off onto a skein winder. And let's see what I want to do here. Okay, let me get my table out. Speaking of finishing up the fiber projects, that's sort of what I'm going to work on here. So this was a lamb, and it was just sold as a part of a fleece, like a pound, or not even a pound, I don't know what it was, but there was just a whole bunch of wonderful locks in it. But it's unknown, right? The locks were like this. These have been combed, but they're just like gorgeous, bouncy, not real crimpy, a lot of yellow. That these have been washed, isn't coming off, and I combed them up and have been spinning them by the lock. And this is a 2-ply bobbin that I got so far. I have a table full here left to do. So most of it is still in lock form. There is some that the lock integrity no longer exists, and that I have to run through my little hand combs to finish them up. So what I've been doing is spinning anything that's been lock, and then after that I'll go ahead and do the combing, because as I'm spinning a lock, sometimes I run into stuff that isn't intact as a lock. So I am going to just spin some locks here tonight. And I need to get my trash can, because I do get stuff that I have to throw away. There we go. Quite a leader on here. We gotta go the other way anyway. Oh, I have a rattly bobbin. Well. And two things. I don't need as much pull in. I get more pull in when I'm flying, or speed. Alright, here we go. Now, let's put this camera so you can see the locks. I will try and spin up here. That 2-ply that I showed you, I spun on the Nano, but I struggled. The Nano bobbin, after a certain point, did not want to, it didn't have the pull-in necessary to pull against a lock. And I had a really hard time where it just didn't want to pull it in, and I would only get so much on a bobbin, and I'd have to start a new bobbin. So I decided that I would not spin on the locks on the Nano anymore. I'd go ahead and spin it on the Roberta. So let's see. I did just oil this, and I think the rattle on the bobbin will go away when I get a little more weight on it. I have run into this before. Well, that's a crappy join. Doggone it. Maybe I can take some of that off. There we go. Usually when I spin locks, I get a really smooth yarn. This fiber is not soft, it's medium at the most, and when I'm spinning this as a lock, I'm getting a lot of fuzz. We were laughing about that Wednesday morning, you know, 'cause when I was plying, that fuzz was really obvious. So this is going to be a one of those fuzzy yarns, and really not quite next to the skin soft. I probably would tolerate it as gloves and a hat, but probably not a scarf. But I want to keep it white and use it more for when I'm doing Christmas decorations and need a white instead of using a commercial yarn. Alright, this needs more pulling. That's why I want to keep it white. It's kind of a rustic white, being so yellow, but that's all right. The Nano seems to be a constant fight with attention. Yeah. And I have not done any adaptation to it, and you know, so I'm sure there are things like I haven't changed the hooks. I know some people have done that, or tried other bands. So anyway, I don't have any trouble with the Nano when the fiber is just totally prepped and easy to draft. But there is a lot of, when you're pulling a lock, I mean, there's a lot of pull, and there's a lot of pause too while you're pulling. And Roberta, the one thing Roberta is really good about is that pause. It doesn't quit adding twists, but it doesn't seem to pile it up as quickly as some spinning wheels. Yeah, you 3D I can't say that, 3D printed hooks seems to help. Well, that's awesome. That would be pretty cool. My daughter has access to a 3D printer, but I don't know if that's a possibility or not. I just figured I probably could find something else like that somewhere for sale and buy them. I mean, I will if I get to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'm not spinning with this ever again. If I get to that point, I'll start trying to figure out what I can do to make it better. Was a crappy drawing. Let me start over on that. Oh, the thing about spinning locks is, oh, see, that's not a good one either, is the constant stop and attaching the fiber. That is the really downside of spinning with locks. You mounted your Nano to a tripod. It stays put and I can adjust the height. Oh. Allcrafty says I also had 3D printed hooks and it helped a whole bunch. Okay. Well, you guys are convincing me. That's probably a very easy thing to find and do. I'm sure relatively cheaply. So the tripod helps the slipping around. Does your tripod have enough weight that it doesn't slip around anymore? Is that true? That's a pretty awesome idea if that's true. Does a camera tripod work? I ordered myself, and it should, I just ordered it last night, so it should come in a week or so, an easel that sits on the tabletop. Now, that's because I have a paint by number, which is, you know, one of those things that is, what should I, a closet secret, I don't want to admit I do this craft kind of thing. but I do like the results of some of the paint by number kits. The pictures are fantastic, right? I really like them. So anyway, if I have instead of laying it flat on a table, I went ahead and got an easel that sits on a table. I'm quite excited about that. I think that's going to be much better. Not a tripod, but it made me think of it. The tripod made me think of it. It's a camera tripod. You just put the leg facing you and it's stable. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you. It's a fantastic idea. This Roberta sits on a stool. It is this kind of stool that you can flip the seat, you know, so, and the legs fold so it's all flat. Again, you can carry it or prop it again. It is the best stool ever, but not for sitting, but it has never had a chance to be used because it has always had the Roberta on it ever since I've had the Roberta. Look, I don't, you can't see. I mean, this yellow just glows in the natural light here, or the overhead light. But the locks and the crimp on it are just amazing. I can't begin to guess what breed it might be. Except I'd say based on the way it feels, since it's not real soft, I would say Romney. going in there. I've been trying not to start. I've been trying to start at the cut end and go to the tip. And usually the only way you can tell is because of the yellowing. Come on, open up. This is too thick. I have to cut it. It's funny how you can pull out all these little, keep going, and all those tiny crimpy bits, you know, that you get in certain areas of fleece, eventually all disappear and line up, but they kind of fight it. It's like, no, I want to be a curl. Not all of the locks have that. Okay. Need a break. Need a hydrate break here, actually. I'm very thirsty. I went to the end here. Let me go out there. those of you who have raised kids are going to understand this little comment here. It's very interesting to when they reach the maturity point of making decisions, doing something as a result of that decision, and then are told, well, you know, there was a better option. Yeah, and you know, and yet you don't want to discourage that autonomy, right? This is for my grandson. This is, we went and stopped by and had a short visit at their house, and it occurred while we were there. And his big autonomy is the ability to agree to try foods he's never tried before. This is a thing, right, with kids, right? They really don't like, they want the same food over and over. So he's agreed, as long as he has the right to not eat it, and that's fine. The thing that has happened, though, is he developed this thrill of, oh, no, I don't like that, and tossing it in the trash. And so the discussion then became, well, look, you know, that was a pretty big waste of food. And even though we might discourage eating after everybody, when you're in a family, you can share food. You can cut off that end, you can, you know, whatever. And he just kind of went, huh, and walked away. So, you know, we have the next step now. I think that it was more the enjoyment of the, I threw that away. They were going to make me eat that, and I threw that away. Anyway, when you raise kids, it's, you know, this growing into that whole decision-making process and relatively adult skills. It's pretty amazing. That's the beauty of being a grandparent. That's not your job anymore. It's not your job anymore. If you ever feel like your spinning needs practice with joins, get yourself a whole bunch of really nice combed open locks. You're going to get lots of practice. Snyder says, our 16-year-old finally discovered there is more to life than chicken nuggets. Oh, that's... Yeah. Hopefully that came along with the joy of creating your food, right? Cooking it and everything. I would say that, to me, I would say that my thrill of becoming a person who really loves to eat was pretty closely joined with loving to cook. But yes, chicken nuggets. Oh my gosh, that's the only thing my grandson wants. Hello. Thank you for the host, Kalia. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're here, or you're probably listening to the ad. I'll say hello here in a minute. So welcome, Excalia. Maybe you are lurking and that's fine. But thank you for the host if you ever hear this. Okay, the slowest 14 minutes ever. Making soup. Yeah, perfect night for that, isn't it? At least here it is so cold and going to get colder. Oh, did everybody see the eclipse? It was clear this morning. I should say this morning because it was around 4 a.m. our time, which is part of the reason I am so tired because I did not sleep much last night and I was up and did not go outside, did not need to. The moon was right in my window and we were staying at a hotel and so we were up like on the 7th floor. It was very nice, but I didn't get much sleep last night. So I tried to fill in that sleep this morning from, we got home really early, from like 8 to 11, 7 to 11. I think I got in bed at 7 to 11. And my cat would not, he just was like, this is not, no. Even though he had his food and everything, and if I'm up at that time of day, you know, he's parked on my lap or whatever, it's like, you do not belong in bed right now. He was having none of it. I was like, go away. But yes, we got to see the eclipse. It's pretty cool. What kind of soup are you making? I had soup for lunch this week. I didn't make it. We had it at a restaurant. It was wonton soup. Wild rice soup. That sounds good. It was wonton soup. The Orientals make the best broth. It just, the broth just is so hearty. And then, you know, it has the wontons in it and water chestnuts, and that's about it. But a good handful of small baby spinach leaves just thrown in there after the pot was ladled out, right? The soup was ladled out into the bowl, and they wilt down to just the perfect. I'm making myself hungry. It was so good. It was so tasty. But we were out running errands. Like I said, we've been out and about every day this week, and one of the things we did was stop for lunch at P.F. Chang's, and we both got soup. Hubby likes their hot and sour soup. I don't care for that, but I do love their wonton soup. It's your first time to make the wild rice soup. It's going to be strange making a roux without making chipped beef. Yeah, so it's a cream base. Mm. I like cream chipped beef on toast. I love it. Love it. Hubby wouldn't touch it. I never make it anymore. He doesn't like hash either, but that's the one thing I will go ahead and make for me, because I really like it. Cooked in an Instant Pot, then add the milk at the end. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have an Instant Pot. Been thinking about it. I know my daughter loves it. Loves hers. She has to get meals ready in a hurry, though. You know, she works. She comes home from work. She's got to have food ready. And she does a lot of pre-planning, and she uses the Instant Pot a lot. She also has, oh, it's not a microwave or an oven. Now I can't think of what it is, but another speedy cooking tool. That she uses a lot. Air fryer, yes. Thank you. That's exactly right. Got some good blues going. Well, I'm getting down to pretty much the end of my locks, and there's fiber left over that is not in lock form that I'll do the other bobbin with. I have no idea if it's gonna be even, but I'll get whatever I can out of the singles for 2-ply. Snyder, it probably is dinner time. I didn't hear the dinner bell, but I bet you it's close. I hope it's good. Oh. Yeah. Melting butter as I type. That's pretty tricky. Making a roux. Excuse me. I hate winter. Never really ever have any kind of health issues in the summer. All right. We are down to this much for intact block spinning here. And I'm not going to go on with the second bobbin because I want to get my hand combs, which are not here with me right now, and comb up fiber into top. So that will wait until next week, along with everything else. These are the best. I hate to spin them. I have saved some in a, I do save a lock or two of the washed fiber. I don't save the whole thing. But, oh, that's so pretty. Those locks are perfect, except for the yellow staining. I was reading an article in the Taproot magazine that I got that is written by what you and I know as a sheep breeder that has a spinner flock, right? Not raising sheep commercially, not raising one particular breed for genetic purity and breeding and all that. They have what they consider a good quality fleece producing animal, and if it's a male they use it for breeding, and if it's a female, of course, they have it raise the next generations. And there will be crosses. They won't be pure genetics because you use the same ram for a number of years. And your goal is producing the fleece for a spinning yarn, not necessarily anything else. It was an interesting take, and yet nothing different than what I have read in the past in, a number of different places as far as spinners go. But this was written more on layman terms because it is the magazine Taproot is a creative magazine for all sorts of creative people, right? Painters, artists, photographers, seamstress, weavers, that other fiber textile people. It is way broader than just spinning, and so it was written with the layman in mind. And I was critiquing the writer, of course, as I was reading, as their skill to talk to laymen and explain it, and I thought it was well done. Hello, welcome back. That was quick. And I am right at the finish of spinning these locks. This is the last bunch. So I'll go on to something else. Probably pick an open fiber. I always seem to end the stream lately with that. Last 20 minutes or so. Get a little bit of it done. during the week. That last bit was very yellow. Very yellow. Okay, we'll put that out of the way. Reaching for my towel here. This towel is maroon, but boy, that looks purple with that camera. All right. Been working on this bag full here. So it's gradually diminishing in size as I pick it apart, as I get it picked apart. This is what Twitch likes to call a variety stream, although you and I know better. It's all spinning related. This fiber has a lot more bounce. It's Rambouillet. It's bouncy. This is destined eventually to be a sweater for hubby. Can always tell it's time for the end of the stream. I run out of things to talk about. Pretty much don't have any other thing to add, so I don't have anything to talk about. Music's alright though. Nice and laid back Friday evening. Hoping I can get hubby and I to the movies this week, coming week, to see Dune before it goes away at our theater. You ready for spring? Are you cold? I know. I need some time of winter hibernation. True, you know. The cupboard's stocked, and there's no need to go anywhere, and you know, you can just hunker down and stay warm and relax for a couple weeks. Haven't had that yet. Never usually happens till after the holidays anyway. Oh, you